To get wet.
All right, what's up, party people? I'm just getting back. Doing another stream, trying another late night approach. Doing a lot of stuff like in the morning time, and a lot of people are busy and at work and stuff. So I want to try like a nighttime stream. Maybe if it goes well, I'll do more of that. Oh, and what are we doing? All right, so we are going to be continuing on our path of making things with climate trace data. So let's see if I can pull up what we did last time. All right, and I have an hour on the timer right now because I'm gonna try and get a goal done in that hour. But first, let's talk about what we did last time, which is we pulled in this climate trace data. Climate trace is like a unique database of asset level emission data all over the globe for different sectors. And we're playing with the API, but there's also, you can also download like CSVs of every sector or every country. And what I did is I made a little way where you can go through and select a country and then select an asset within it, like the Irving Oil St. John refinery, and add to like a shopping cart on the right. And you can add and remove things, and you can sort of see the total tons of CO2 for all of those assets. So I think this is interesting because you can, maybe eventually compare things, or if you're doing research on, I want to know the total coal mining in the United States or in Canada. Where's Canada? Right. So give me everything. Let's take everything out of our cart. What are these 4 coal mining operations together? Oh, it's 2.5 million tons of CO2. Okay, that's a lot. What if I take everything out of my cart and get the top 4, I don't know, is there a rice cultivation in Canada? No. Sand quarrying, railways, chemicals. There's lots of sectors that are empty for Canada right now. All right, let's compare it like it's 2.5 million. What's the top 4 domestic aviation? 2 million. All right, interesting. So one of the ideas that we were playing with, now that we have like the basic behavior of selecting things, adding them to your cart, seeing the total and removing them, there's this larger question of like what happens when you remove the top emitters, right? Like what does that do to the global emissions if you take out 2.5 million tons of CO2? And I don't know really the answer to that right now. But our goal over the next hour or so, maybe more, is to answer this question of like, what happens to global emissions when you, as a user, explore and look at, explore and look at like what the totals are for different industries or different geographic areas, things like that. So that's what I'm curious about looking into. Let's get set up. It's interesting getting back into the live stream swing of things, having done it, with somebody else for a long time with a partner. It's much easier with a partner. Let me just go through. I might disappear for a second while I go through and make sure YouTube chat shows up. And I'm back, and it should be set up. I suppose I could test it. Hello. Theoretically, that will show up in my little box, but it doesn't. Just put this in the right spot. Be back again, 1 second. All right, now we're cooking with fire. Everything works, sort of, maybe, almost. So, with our goal in mind, right? over the next hour, we're going to see what happens to global emissions when we remove top emitters. And we're going to build on the prototype that I have that lets you grab different assets and see their total. And so maybe we can build a little tool that lets you fix climate change, something like that. So let's give that a shot. Starting the timer, an hour on the clock. Let's put that over here. So where to start? One place that we can start is making it easier to select things. And one way to do that is like smart filters. Like give me every asset that has more than this emissions, or every asset from a country, or every asset from an industry. Right, something like this. So let's look at our code. And this is all in view right now. But basically what we do in our asset list is we make a request to the Climate Trace API. We ask for all of the available countries. We ask for all the available sectors. And that's what fills these two lists, right? So these are all of the countries that we can use and all of the sectors that we can use. So I can, you know, go. I'm not good on my 3-letter country names, but I can select a country. Kabul, I guess this is Afghanistan. Grab a few of my airports and see that, you know, wow, 3.4 million tons of CO2. So another very, very easy thing that we could change is, so right now you have to click each individual one, but, you know, what if there were an add all button? Or little select boxes next to each thing where you could click, you know, I want this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and then you get a little add for all of them at the bottom. So we could do something like that. There's another thing that's interesting in terms of a way of selecting assets, and it's select assets near me. And you can do that sort of by radius. And I'm thinking one way to go about that is to go to the climate trace data and just download every single sector as a CSV. And then combine them into one big database that I can then look up more things, but at least I'll have the locations of lots of like all of the different assets, right, that I can then look up. And ooh, they are very big. So I'm just going to start downloading them now. So at least that's like in progress. And obviously I can get this through the API, but I'm curious what it's like to interact with these zip files. Like this transportation one is 9 gigabytes, so that'll be downloading for a while. Let's write some code and make some things happen. So we can't do around me because that's still downloading. Oh, we could also do, while I'm adding to my to-do list, we could also do map view. Right, so if you have a map that you want to explore around by just dragging the map, and then you can add from the map, or see everything that you've selected. Like maybe that's a little thing for your shopping cart. And then I guess some more fun things that I'm remembering is that we could do Dataviz, shopping cart, and we could probably do some comparison. Like what if you build a cart and save it, and then you want to compare it to another cart? Like you build one grouping and want to compare it to another grouping. So these are all fun, disparate directions that are worth considering. What do we want to do first exactly? Time's a ticking. Well, okay. One thing I want to do is add up all total global emissions. So let's make a global emissions component. What are you doing, VS Code? All right, so we'll make a global emissions template. Not gonna write it yet. Also a little concerned that my robot isn't trying to fill things in. I might restart, such that I get my robot back. How am I to code without my robot? Blah, blah, blah. So one thing that we can do is copy how we get our data from our asset list. But first, let's save the URL. Well, no, I guess. Yeah, so global emissions for all industries is from here. And then if we look in our asset list, we fetch things like this. And then we do const global emissions by sector equals ref. So it's empty, and then this will fill it out once the fetch is done. Emissions by sector values the data, and this won't be countries. It'll be our cool new API endpoint. Make this a little bit bigger. It's too big. That's okay. There we go. That's fun. Okay. So we're gonna add our missions there, and then let's just put it on the page and see what it looks like. Missions by sector. I don't even know where I really even want to put it on the page yet. I guess we could put it at the top of the shopping cart. I guess I could also start the application. That might be helpful. What's your port? Which port you pick? It won't tell me. 3000 classic. Okie dokie. Maybe let's add it to the top of the shopping cart. We'll do global emissions. Okay, there it is. So this has it by sector. We can kind of make this list a little cleaner. So we'll do, instead of a pre, has everything. Gotta give it a wrapper, comment that out, and then we'll do div v4 sector. Spell global emissions by sector. He will be the sector. What is it? Name. Dot sector. Right. And then we'll do. I think that is correct. Well, we'll just give me the full sector JSON. Sector dot emissions. There we go. And then do I have a number format? I don't really. Right here. Word format. D3. Emissions number. Import emissions number format from. Nope, all of that's wrong. Stop that. Just can't. Just having trouble. Helpers. Right, and then we need helpers, and then we need I think I called it that. That's not how I want to do it. Missions number. And then I already do this somewhere in the shopping cart, maybe. I import format, and then I make my format. Just do the same thing. Key, that should probably work. Okay. About that. Just really tremendous, amazing stuff. So let's go back to where I use it. I don't need to do this anymore. We want to import emissions. Helpers, great. That might work. Yeah, sort of. Okay, and now I need to pass this through it, which I do not do. Great, and now we have commas and things that make sense. It's not sorted by anything. What are you gonna do? Life's tough sometimes. So these are all, I wonder what they all added together equal. Well, let's write a computed to make it happen. Make my helpers small. So we're gonna make computed. We're gonna make a computed that works for all sectors. So now we have this total emissions, and let's add it to the bottom. Total emissions. Some styling, so it's not too intense. So total emissions is 19 billion, if I'm reading that correctly. Okay, so this is fun. So now what we can do is we can, oh, I broke the cart somehow. Fix that later. But now what we can do is we can subtract our cart from the total and see what the percentage is. Right? So first we calculate total global emissions. We sort of did that, except there's one complicating factor. We need to add the remainders of non-tracked assets, which is like just a big number. We need to calculate global emissions, add remainder. And then we need to calculate emissions subtracting all the assets in the cart. And then we need to calculate percentage of total emissions cart represents. So you want to say like your cart is 0.001% of total emissions, or your cart is 10% of global emissions, or like maybe have some gotta catch 'em all vibes to it. Let's figure out why my remove is broken. It's kind of a bummer. Probably because whatever's causing this to happen. What's going on? What did I do? Oh, reduce. It's trying to reduce a thing that doesn't exist. So we'll do if there isn't a global emissions factor value, return 0. Sweet. So now can I add things and remove them from the cart? Yay! Very exciting. So let's add a little bit of styling that makes this make a little bit more sense. We'll say H2. Just adding some styling. I don't know if we need this border top. So we have global emissions by sector. It has a fun little list. Maybe it should be a table. Probably a table is better. TR. So div. This div. Whoa. Everything's getting all mixed up. That is okay. TR, and then we're going to do two TDs. Now we have a little table. Whee! It would be great if it was sorted. Whatever. We can make a function that sorts it because we're nice people. A function that sorts the... Yes. And then we can do this when we do our v4. Right, so now we're doing a v4 on the sorted. That doesn't make any sense. It hates that idea. We could coerce these to numbers. That should work. This is a rabbit hole, though. And let the robot write code. So we have our total, which should also be a table row, so it shows up the same. All right, can't do padding, whatever. So that's the total, 19 bajillion. So I need to add the cart to that. So when you add things, it's like 19 bajillion minus 16 million equals. All right, let's tweet out what we got so far. It's mildly exciting. So I wonder, right now I need to pass this data between components. I guess only sort of between components, because I'm in the shopping cart. The top of the shopping cart has global emissions. So maybe I should just add the cart total to the global emissions as a prop. And we'll do cart total. What's the answer, robot? No. We have total cart emissions? We do. Amazing. And then what we can do is just make sure that it's getting passed through correctly. We'll do red, total cart emissions. Yes, that's exactly right, robot. Great work. And now let's define our props. Props. Define props, cart total, number. Truly amazing work. Let's see if we have... No. No. Huh. So cart total, that's right. Total cart emissions. And we're literally showing... Oh, but maybe it's because we're passing it through this number format that we don't necessarily need to. Total cart emission 0, that's right. Okay, yeah. Sweet. So now let's add another row at the bottom of global emissions that is, well, first we have to make it computed. So this would be make it computed that subtracts, exactly right, robot, remaining emissions. Okay. And then we'll do total. So if you close your rows, I don't think that's how math works, robot. Okay, this is interesting. So now when you add things to cart, it removes the number. So that's nice. I wonder how many you have to add to remove ability. Well, that's another fun. So there's all sorts of ways to think about it. I'm interested in like the mini games of like, I need a clear cart button. Goodness gracious. I guess I can just refresh for now. Clear cart button would be handy. Right, so you say, okay, can you remove a Billy from total global emissions by going to just one country and looking at their coal mining? I wonder, I bet China has huge coal mining. China. Can you remove 1 billion tons of CO2 from the atmosphere with just China coal mines? Might take a little while. Looks like I mean, not that long. Just keep removing coal mines. This is my speculative fiction prototype. Wow, you have to remove, you just have to keep removing mines. And they're getting smaller and smaller too. All right, let's go to the US. Let's remove some US mines. But they're huge. I'm just trying to get this 19 to say 18. I'm curious how many coal mines you have to remove. It looks like a lot. So what takes up the most? Oil and gas refining. So let's go to oil and gas refining. All right, let's take some of these away. Ooh, there we go. Some big numbers. But you're kind of curious, like you want to know like what country, what the country breakdown of electricity generation is. What electricity generation? Can I not read? There we go. Oh, so close. Just 130 million tons of CO2 to go. I think we can get it on just electricity generation in the US. Almost there. What is that? 55 million, 46 million, 36, 27, 17 million, 8 million to go. And this one's 9. Boom, just knocked a billion tons of CO2. And all I had to do was get rid of all of these coal mines. I should add the country to the shopping cart. all I had to do was remove all of these power stations and coal mines across the US and China, and I knocked a cool billion off our total emissions. So that's nice. There's a bunch of different ways that we can improve this that I think are worth thinking about. I got spammers in the chat, man. That's not cool. At least I'm popular. We'll hide them. So let's take a second to think about what's going on. Look at our to-do list. So we've sort of done this already. We calculate our total global emissions. We have not added the remainder, which is an important step that I can look at. So I was talking to Earthrise folks, and they said that we need to, oh, there's a remainder. Whoa. There's a remainder for each sector for each year. So that was all years. Let's just grab 2021 by itself. That's an option. What? These are all 2021? Why are there so many? Oh, because it's per country. So I have to add up all of the countries? All right, whatever. I mean, sure. Let's do whatever that means. I don't really. So we'll do global emissions remainders by country by sector. Right, we do our first fetch, and then we do our next fetch, which is the thing we were just looking at. And then we're going to need to do a computed that rolls up all of the emissions for each sector. That's right. And what is it called? Dot sector. You got that, robot? Dot sector. Can you hear me? Const, I don't know what to call it. Total emissions with, no, total emissions remainder by sector. Great. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think that's right. So what we're gonna need to do is tell the robot what we're trying to do. Looks. All great, good and right. Yes, love it. Thank you, robot. Does that work? No, not really. Let's look at what the remainder conglomeration looks like. Got 29, half an hour left. It's not bad. So let's see. So we do have global emissions by sector, but it doesn't look like it's rolled up properly. It's just a huge array. By country, by sector? Yeah, nobody wants that. Yeah, nobody wants by country, by sector. Oh, I guess that's how it comes in, though. So that's what we need to... Country by sector. So we do have total emissions, remainder by sector? We do. Okay, so now we just need a function to look up function to grab a sector from, yes, get sector remainder. That's a great name. And then let's see, we want to get sector remainder for our sector.sector. Gonna keep saying sector. What emissions number format? Well, maybe we don't want an emissions number format quite yet. Hey, look at that. So this is our total and this is our remainder. So should I add them all together? The total and the remainder together? This looks crazy. Total emissions remainder by sector. Okay. We barely need this. So now what we want to do is computed that calculates the emission sum of the emissions and the remainder for all sectors. Yeah. So now we can use that instead of our original one. So it's sector emissions, and then we would do the sector, but now we're just going to do what do you call it? Maybe I need to make another function. Function to get the... Oh, that's cool. Cool idea, robot. Then we can make a little linear scale. So we'll do color percent scale D3. No, scale linear. Sort of. I wonder what that, okay. And then we want to make the background color of our row. Whoa, why is this all very unhappy? Finish that. Then we want to make the background color of our row styled with that. Style. Yeah, dude, that rules. Except scale linear.domain. How do you get a D3 scale linear? Yeah, it's scale linear. What are you talking about? Can't do dot domain. What kind of joke is this? Import scale linear. And then we do, yeah. That's exactly how it should work. It's not a function. Doesn't seem right. Alright, now it's just deeply unhappy. You sure I can't do scale linear? Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, dot domain, and give it an array. Oh! Sometimes it's the smallest of things. That's clearly not working. But we have a new cool function. Total emissions, get sector percentage. Yeah. Okay, clearly that's not working. What's up with that? Can I represent fine? Trying to read emissions. Let's try and read dot emissions. Okay, that's probably the wrong order. Not really working great. 22 minutes. What if I just make, if I just always return 50? All right, I'll get back to that. Why is this not working also? Very frustrating. I feel like I've made bad choices in the last 5 minutes that I would like to get back from. It was like right around the time I was getting interested in my color scale. The robot, I remember, the robot set me down. I mean, unexpected token. Oh, okay. So we go to 12. What do you think we were doing, robot? Something like that? Okay, valid. Okay, so these are our totals. Except the total doesn't account for the remainder. Okay, it's a lot of emissions. So when you add stuff, it just takes like a tiny little bite out of it. It doesn't show the bite anymore. Bring back the bite. Total emissions and remainder. Okay, and then remaining emissions needs to use that. Remaining emissions, not. Amazing. So now we remove some. Can you remove a forest fire? No, that'd be cool though. Some electricity generation. Now we remove 2, and we're taking little teensy little bites off the 40 billion. Well, shouldn't it be more? This is harder than I thought, this global warming thing. I thought you'd be able to like go and grab like 3 things. Actually, I bet you can. So this is the other side of the interface, is like, how do you find the most polluting assets? And so one of the things Climate Trace has done is they have this great website, which has, believe it or not, a big old map where you can see who the most polluting assets are. So it's very easy to identify who the potential troublemakers are on a map like this, where you can sort of see them in proportion. So we need something like this, like a Dataviz approach, to seeing where the most emitting assets are. What's up with these grids? What's going on here? Crop, oh, it's a fire? Okie dokie. Of course, there's all that shipping data. So we need to do some work around this explore view. Now that we have our shopping cart that lets you see the impact that you're making on total emissions, which is not much. Oh, there we go. You almost want to see the circles almost separated out from the map, or even separated out from countries. Like, you just want to see the biggest, and also see it in comparison, I think, right? Yeah, this is missing some data visualization. That's definitely feeling it. Add data visualization. Sector as percent of global emissions. Asset as percent of sector or country. Right, and then you can sort of see I wonder what the easiest way to get all of the assets is. All right, let's tweet out what we got going so far. All right, so about 45 minutes in, and we are so yeah, some basic data viz. This is what I was trying to add with the colors. Some basic data viz of knowing that, like, okay, it looks like one of the bigger ones is electricity generation. So now that I know it's electricity generation, which are the biggest countries in electricity generation? And so I bet it's probably like the USA and Canada, you know, maybe Ukraine. Let's look at, you know, China. How is the... Right, 31 million tons is China's top power station. So it's like a huge, these are like huge, yeah, it's insane. And I also need to label the sector that they're in the shopping cart. Let's do that right now. In cart 22. Sorry, I just didn't. Oh yeah, cool. Cool beans. So I want to see what sector it is. Okay, cool. Somebody parked outside my house. So now you can see what sector they are. I kind of want to make that much smaller. All right, we got 13 minutes left. We have the start of what we set out to do. I'm going to take a little break and figure out the best way to come back to it. Probably add some Dataviz. But now we can add things to our cart and see. I guess we should say what the difference is below it too, right? Oh, we show it down here. It's this total. And all of this could probably be much smaller. I think it's all about the selection. Like, you need smart ways of doing queries to give yourself a list of assets that you want to remove. So the question is really like, what are some intelligent ways, smart filters, smart queries to build lists and groupings of things to be gotten? And really, you just want to start with the top. Like, really, you just want top out of everything, top emissions out of everything, all sectors. What's the worst asset in the world? That's a great question that I want to answer. What is the worst asset in the world? TBD. So we're going to make a new page called top. And this is just going to be a list of the top 10 worst assets across all sectors and industries. You have to put your comment in a div or it ruins Nuxt routing. Because it like sees it as an element, so I'm gonna put my comment in the div. And why isn't wrap on? It is on? Clearly it is not. So how do I get a list of all assets across all sectors and countries. Can I just do the most absurd API call in history? Suite of assets, provides a list of assets in a GeoJSON format. Great. The maximum number, I'll just set that to a bajillion. Okay, a comma separated list of 3-letter country codes specifying the countries. Well, guess who already has one of those? It's me. So this is my comma separated list of countries I can use to make queries of every single thing. Right? And then I also have my list of sectors, which might be a little bit out of date, but do our best. So we'll do that, and we want CO2 100. And that's it. So first, just give us 10. It says it's a bad request, and I gave it an invalid country, but these are all great countries. Is it because of my spaces? You don't want to answer me because of my spaces? Oh, no, it doesn't like my sectors. All right, you see what I'm trying to get at, though? Like, I want all of the assets, all of them. Give me all of the assets. Everywhere. Every single asset. And I don't want to scrape it. I want like a real API call. Forgot why I was doing this. Did I put it in my notes? Oh, I'm trying to find the worst asset in the world. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I want all assets, or at the very least, I want assets ranked by how bad they are. And I don't have any of that. I do, however, have the download from Climate Trace, right? So they have their data and methodology. So I downloaded every sector. I could combine these CSVs into one massive CSV, or even better, combine these CSVs into one massive SQLite database. And then I can figure out what the worst asset in the world is. All right, so let me write that down, and I'm going to take a little break. I have 5 minutes on the clock, but I'm going to come back and reset it. Take a little 5-minute break, and then we will do our exploration of combine CSVs for all sectors, create SQLite DB, explore, create top 10 list of worst assets, maybe top 100, right? And that'll be available in here for you to go grab from the top 100 and see. Yeah, I wonder, like, what if you remove the top 100 assets, what that does to the total emissions in the globe. My intuition says it would remove a lot. Like, by removing the top 1%, you get rid of a significant amount of emissions, but I don't really know the answer to that. All right, so we're going to combine our CSVs, create our SQLite DB, create our top 100 list of worst assets, and then allow adding to cart from top 100 list. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to take a little break. Maybe when I come back, play some jazz or something. I don't know. I'll be back in a little bit. right, I'm back. That took longer than I expected it to, but what are you gonna do? I filled my hard drive up, trying to unpack these sectors. Let me see if I can open a terminal window. So I might just go through and download like just the United States by itself. Let's see if I can do that. Just USA only. Forest sectors, I guess I'll download both. Forest and non-forest, please. So these are two huge USA files. And now I have this like big data folder with all the zip files, and I unzipped them to the best of my ability. And now we have all these CSVs. So what I want to do is go and use CSVs to SQLite and combine them into a SQLite database. So let's see if we can do that. Once TeamLux boots up, here is our data. And so it looks like, I wonder if this is worth giving a shot. Can we see what power looks like? Cool. So ideally we would have all our CSVs in one place, but maybe we can do all sector, we'll call it CT all sectors. .db. So I'm asking CSVs to SQLite to turn every CSV it finds in this folder into a SQLite database, which we will then run through dataset. Also, I have my USA downloads, which maybe I'll put in here, USA Big Data, or Big Data USA for the sake of our folder. And I will drag in the first one and the second one, and let's unzip them. And so CSVs to SQLite is now binding 42 different CSVs into one SQLite database, so that's fun and fancy. All right, so let's try, well, hold on. I have to remember how to all data set properly. This is when I was trying to load an extension. Well, whatever. Load data set. All sectors. Except it's going to have them all in tables. But maybe we can query across all tables. Maybe I'll have the robot write some queries for me. I might go down to sitting mode. See how that goes. I do like sitting. Oh, and put a record on. I have the technology to do all sorts of fun things. I've got Mingus, Charles Mingus. Does that make it through? I think it does. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. That kind of sets the vibes a little better. So let's go check out our dataset instance. All right, so we have CT all sectors. All right, which is 42 different tables of emissions. Can you do... I'm just trying to select You can't select from all tables. Alright, so let's grab all our table names. Whoa. SQL select from all tables. This is not what I want. I have my 42 tables with a 4 billion rows in them, and I want to order them all by emissions quantity, I think. Let's see. Look at that. Hardly any different. I guess you can see more above, but so yeah, I want to select from multiple tables. All right, let's start talking to the robot. All right, we'll try these prompts. I need to bind to select and sort across multiple using a SQL database. My table names are how do I rate and query that? Selects. The fucking robot's arguing with me. Just give me the query. All right. See, this is why I want a robot to do this, because this sure does feel like robot work. And the last one is country wastewater treatment and discharge emissions. Country fossil fuel operations. There's so many. Steel emissions, solid waste. There's even more. Keep going. Wow, goodness gracious. So this is our query, I guess. Let's give it a shot. Limit 100. Where? Here? So maybe don't do this one. Is it? The robot did a terrible job and I'm upset now. These might all need to be in these things? Maybe? I don't know SQLite very well. Alright, so no, I was like, hey robot, can you like use the brackets maybe? Is that how you write it? I don't know if it is. Just taking another shot. I guess I could try it like once. That might be smart. Hey, that does work. Okay, so maybe this will work. My insane query. Limit 100. No such column, but from where? Who doesn't have it? I guess I can find out one by one. So who has it? Emissions quantity. Oh, aluminum has it. Bauxite has it. Cement does not have it, so we have to remove it. Who else doesn't have it? Cement doesn't have it. Electricity generation ownership doesn't have it. I bet all of the ownerships don't have emissions data. That makes sense. Let's just take all of those out and see how we're doing. Alright, what else doesn't have it? Ownership, I probably already removed that. Or did I not? I missed a bunch. Alright, try now. Hey! These numbers are buck wild. We gotta teach the robot what we just figured out. That works great, but none of the ownership table. See, this is spent a long period of time talking to the robot for almost no reason. But what are you gonna do? Oh, it did not do what I asked it though, which is unfortunate. I see, robot. I see what you're getting at. It doesn't have asset ID. Brutal. Well, if they don't have asset ID, then I can't use them. See, this is what makes everything so complicated. There's caveats to everything. So, country aluminum emissions, I guess that makes sense. So none of the country ones have asset ID. Okay, that's valid. So all of these guys got to go. Because those are country level results, not asset level results. Oh, that worked. Okay, so these are the worst assets, but they repeat? I wonder what that's all about. And I wish I had the, I need more data for them. So let's make a new, excuse me. This is going to be our query. And we want some additional data. Like, I want the sector, which I don't think we get because it's in the table name. Let's grab emissions factor too. So it should be everywhere that emissions quantity is. What else should I grab? Asset name and asset type. All right, let's try this out. Where, so there's no emissions factor? Where? Emissions factor. I spell it right. Whoa, there's, oh, in the units. So not everything has an emissions factor? Well, I guess we can't get it then. Okay, now we're talking. So these are the top assets, the top 100 assets in the world, and we have their asset IDs. So we can probably find them in our app. So let's go to USA. Oil and gas refining. Asset name is Permian, Texas. But it's not at the top. Where's Permian? I guess it's not in there. Also, why are its numbers different? It's in there multiple times and the numbers are different. It's kind of crazy. I guess it might be different years? Because I'm not selecting 2021. Oh yeah, let me grab start time and end time and see what's going on there. Okay, yeah, it's different years. So that makes sense. I guess you could show the rankings if they changed over time. Doesn't seem like they really do. But that's interesting. I might just grab end time because I don't need two of them. And I gotta flip my record. So I want a way to like only select the year 2021. I guess I could do only where start time is exactly that. Using up all my GPT credits on SQLite queries. All right, it's that easy. I was missing one line. What? Oh, it's not start date, it's start time. Easy enough. Now we're talking. So this is just 2021 data now. But why is it repeat? Do I need this where everywhere? Like every union needs it? Okay, it's only 2020. But now it's not repeating. Now it makes more sense. But let's make it 2021. I don't know why I did 2020. All right, so we did it. So this is pretty cool. So this is the top 100 polluting assets in the world. We made our list. So let's do CSV. We can save it out into our data as where? Public data top emitting assets.csv. It's 100. Oh, I should have said 2021 also. All right, so it's mostly oil and gas. Who could have guessed? But how come this Permian, Texas one doesn't show up in the app? Right? Shouldn't it be like right on the top of oil and gas? Oh, it is. In in gas production and transport. Oh, fuck it. So let's just select all of our sectors in the United States. Theoretically, this would give me a list of all of the assets in the United States across all sectors. I bet I made the API very upset. Why doesn't it like my request? Is it because I listed every single type of sector? Ooh, invalid sector provided. It's invalid sector provided. Where does my invalid sector come from? All right, let's try again, but with a maybe better list of sectors. No, it's upset with this one too. Wait, not dot next. We just want API.climate trace. Sorry, just sending feedback, because clearly I'm some sort of idiot, and I'm not requesting these things in the right way. So let's at least figure out what's going on there. Because I want a list of the top oil and gas and refining in the United States. Right, so if you grab all oil and gas, I wonder how big a dent you could make in it. Probably get to $1 billion pretty quickly. All right, like 3/4 of the way there. It's like dwindling returns as you go down, though. Squeak your way up to 900,000. You want like an add all button. See, it feels weird. You're like, oh, what are these? 20 million tons of CO2? It's almost nothing. Almost to $1 billion. So close. Just 50 million to go. I just go back and add one from China or one from Canada. Get myself up. Boom. 1 billion tons of CO2. I mean, it's both a lot and not a lot, which is kind of crazy. I really do need a clear cart button. Okay, so I already got my list, my sweet list of top emitting assets. The other thing I would love to do is try and make a stab at like assets around me. Do we have latitudes and longitudes for these guys? We don't. The music's funny. I don't know, man. All right, let's tweet out it. Let's not forget our successes. What's the Succession theme playing? All right, the problem is that we don't have the latitudes and longitudes in this one. I'm gonna see if we have it in our USA data. Oh my God, there's so many sector folders. All right, so if we go into the one I care about is oil and gas. Is that you? Electricity generation? No. Fossil fuel operations? Yes. Oil and gas? Refining emissions? Sure. What's new in numbers? All right, please, we're hoping that in here we see latitudes and longitudes. So we have ISO 3 country, we got gas. Oh my God, there's no latitudes and longitudes. So how am I supposed to find things around me if there's no latitudes and longitudes? Dude? Huh? What's up with that? Do any of them have latitudes and longitudes? Just click at random. Do you have a latitude and a longitude? No, you don't. Well, now I'm mad. Now I'm upset. So what fuels the map on the climate trace page? Clearly we have the latitudes and longitudes. So where's that data come from? What just happened? Where are we getting data from? What is this? These are our tiles? Buck wild. So they're all in tiles? I mean, that makes sense. All right, so I need to find some way of getting the latitudes and longitudes. Oh, it might actually be through the API, right? So if I go in and I find an asset, let's grab it from our list from before, right? So we have, where are our top emitting assets, right? We have our list from before. So we know that Permian, Texas is 5110460. We might be able to request from the API and get back the latitude and longitude. And then we can start making maps. Except that's not going to help you find assets around you. It's going to help you find one specific asset. But yes, that works the way that we anticipated. So we can get the latitude and longitude for a specific point, but what we don't have, I can't imagine how we would get it, is we need every single asset. Oh, my neighbor's cat keeps meowing. It's very hard to concentrate. A little cat meowing. All right, we're it's 10:30. We're hitting diminishing returns. I need to write down what I need. Where is it? So what I need for next time. Huge list of assets and their long and their ID. Right, because then I can do my geo queries and do everything else like with my list of IDs, but at the very least I need to do a geo query to show that I need to do a geo query to show the things around me. You know? And then another thing I'd love to do is go in here and do USA and then select everything and have it not break. Because it breaks right now. I wonder what it breaks on. So we got cement, coal mining, copper mining, cropland fires. I don't know if it's sorting them. My neighbor's cat will not stop meowing. Gotta love that. Oh, so it looks like biological treatment of solid waste and biogenic is the one that it messes up on. So we could keep selecting things. Yeah, all of these seem like they're small beans compared to the others, right? We have Permian, which is oil and gas production. I guess all these top four oil and gas production. And then we have the road transportation in Los Angeles, which is like, this is actually an interesting way of thinking about it, which is more than some oil and gas production. But it's also crazy that there's some oil and gas production facilities that are like more than all of the road transportation in Los Angeles, right? 36 million. So this is a fun and interesting way of doing it, right? Like we have LA is 36 million. What could you remove in the United States that's equivalent to 36 million? There's a bunch of things, but we're gonna have to scroll down to get to them. Yeah, we can't even get that low on the list, really. Well, all right, that was a fun experiment for tonight. Thanks for hanging out and watching. Probably be back tomorrow or next week to keep iterating. I want to